Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back at today with another fantasy football video. This video is Chiefs at Broncos, the Thursday Night Football start or sit video. Obviously, the running back and wide receiver video is already up, but the quarterbacks and tight ends aren't up, so I want to make sure that you guys get to know exactly who to start in this matchup and exactly who to sit. But before I get in the video, I'd like to give you guys a word from my sponsor, OverlayDFS.com. Are you tired of having to pick the perfect player at every single position in order to win salary cap DFS? Are you tired of having your salary cap lineup out of the running to win the money in the first 5 minutes of the games? Does playing salary DFS feel like a job and not even a game? Well, I have the solution for you guys right here. OverlayDFS.com has a new revolutionary start-sit game for fantasy sports. They're home of the single entry GPP, and it's so simple, guys. I plan this every single week. All you got to do is you look at the matchups on your screen here. There's a bunch of them, and you just pick which players. You're going to have to pick 12 players as well as 3 alternates. Who do you think is going to do better than another person? So, do you think Daniel Jones is going to be better than Teddy Bridgewater? It is that simple, guys. That is literally all you have to do, and there's pretty much entries at every single level. This is the $2.50 one. There's $22 ones. There's even $100 ones if you are rolling in the big bucks like that. See, if you go 12 and 0 in this, 12 and 0 record gets you $2,972. So you're making way more money than the $2.50 you put in. And if you finish in the top 10% of people, you get $18, and it goes up obviously depending on which type of game you're playing in based upon how much you put into the game. So it's very simple. I plan it pretty much every single week. So say in week 4, if you were playing in the 12, if you went 12 and 0 in the $109 game, you'll win a progressive bonus of over $26,000. The object is pretty much just to stay consistent, and you get, if you finish in the top 10% of the field, you win 9 times your buy-in until you get that beautiful 12 and 0 and win that huge progressive bonus. So make sure that you guys check this out. It's super easy. I planned it every single week. I've been doing pretty good, but I think you guys may honestly be smarter than me and may be able to do better. So come play with me. Come check it out. OverlayDFS.com. Check it out. Link below down in the description. And we are back. Chiefs at Broncos, start or sit. Now, the first position we're going to talk about here is the quarterback position, and this should be pretty obvious to you. You're going to be starting Pat Mahomes every single week, no matter how banged up Pat Mahomes is. He's an obvious start for me. He could have one fucking leg, and he would decimate this Denver Broncos defense. Joe Flacco is obviously not a guy you're going to be wanting to start any week, even if you're in a 2 quarterback league, a 3 quarterback league. Joe Flacco just doesn't put up those 3 touchdown games or even those 2 touchdown games. He doesn't have any rushing upside like my boy Patrick Mahomes does. Patrick Mahomes is pretty much an every single week start. I shouldn't have had to even tell you to start him, but I figured I would include it in the video because obviously you need to know that Patrick Mahomes is in for a pretty good game tonight. At the wide receiver position, I'm going to be starting a bunch of guys in this game. Tyreek Hill obviously is a start. A lot of people are worried he's going to get shadowed by one of those corners on Denver that's actually pretty good, Mr. Harris, but I'm not too worried about that. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that Patrick Mahomes may not be able to throw the ball so goddamn far because Tyreek Hill is a speed demon. Obviously, that's not true because Patrick Mahomes can hit Tyreek Hill anywhere on the field. Tyreek Hill is a speed demon. He'll be wide open scoring these touchdowns tonight. I think he's in for a pretty big game tonight. Now, Mecole Hardman has the and next to him because if you're in a deep type of league, you're in a shit tier situation here. Your wide receivers are all on bye. I'm going to start Mecole Hardman. I think he's in for an okay matchup tonight against the Denver Broncos, especially if people think that Tyreek Hill is going to be locked down. I have no way I'm starting Demarcus Robinson anymore. And Mecole Hardman is clearly the only one you can start out of those guys when Tyreek Hill is back. Emmanuel Sanders is a good start for me this week, as well as Courtland Sutton. Emmanuel Sanders seems to be a guy that Joe Flacco likes targeting when they're marching up the field. Courtland Sutton seems to be a target that he likes in the red zone. I like Courtland Sutton a bit more because I think that the Chiefs defense is not all that great. And I think that Joe Flacco may throw a touchdown or two in this game, and Courtland Sutton may be able to score one of those, but I still would not be starting Joe Flacco in any type of fantasy league. And we're sitting down Sammy Watkins due to the injury. Make sure you know that. Make sure you take Sammy out of your lineup. He is not going to be playing tonight. Now at the running back position, I'm going to be starting up Mr. LaShawn McCoy of the Kansas City Chiefs. I love LaShawn McCoy pretty much every single week. Now last week, he kind of disappointed, but I think this week he will be in for a much better matchup this week against the Broncos. I think they're going to be running the ball a lot in this game. I think that LaShawn McCoy is going to be the benefactor of that. Now, Damian Williams also did not have much of a great game last week, but I think that he's going to be getting a lot of those passes thrown his way, going to be catching a lot of balls out of the backfield, and is going to be able to dominate strictly from that. It's so hard not to start a guy like Damian Williams when I see a big bounce back the rest of the year for Damian Williams, especially in the game against the Broncos. Okay, so I think Philip Lindsay is definitely going to be a start this week. He is in my start column. I like Philip Lindsay this week due to the fact that I think they're going to be running the ball a decent amount, and Philip Lindsay is obviously that pass catching back on the team. Now, last week and in weeks prior, we've seen that Rolls-Royce Freeman has actually been getting a lot of use in that PPR type of situation where he's going to be catching the ball. I still think Philip Lindsay is definitely the better start than Royce Freeman, but I still like Royce Freeman a decent amount in this game. He's got the air because obviously he's the second back on the team. He's not the lead back like Philip Lindsay, but I still think Royce Freeman does get those pass catching opportunities. He is going to be running the ball. Last week scored a decent amount of points. I think he's in for a pretty good matchup this week, definitely against the Kansas City Chiefs, who aren't good against the run. We saw the Colts expose them just about a week or two ago, and I think that Rolls-Royce Freeman is in for a pretty sneaky good game, but I do like Philip Lindsay more. At the tight end position, it's pretty clear here. You're going to be starting Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is an every week start. He has been disappointing your fantasy team week in and week out, but this week against the Denver Broncos, he's going to have his redemption. The clouds are going to part, and the Holy One, Travis Kelce, is going to come down and bless you with a big game this week against the Denver Broncos. I'm just seeing down Noah Fant in this game. Noah Fant is a guy that I don't want to touch any week unless you're in like a 30-team league. You don't want anything to do with no hands, Noah Fant. So that makes the video. I also think that you could start the Chiefs defense in certain leagues. I'm not trying to start the Broncos defense at all. The Chiefs defense could be okay. I think Flacco may be prone to throwing some picks, prone to getting fucking sacked a bit in the backfield, but I don't necessarily love them. I don't see them as like a top 5, top 10 defense, probably a top 15 defense on the week. Thank you guys all for watching this video. Make sure to check out overlaydfs.com. Link below down in the description. I love each and every single one of you guys. Make sure to click that subscribe button. Let's have a good Thursday night. Goodbye, friends.